Yeah, just kind of one of the things off of what you said. You said you thought he was the best heavyweight jiu-jitsu player. I
Yeah.
think I'd have to give that to Verdum. I think that's, tough. I mean, I could see where you're coming from. I would personally go with Verdum. Big Nog would be the other one in the category. But I
Hmm.
think once you snap that guy's arm, that's the ultimate tiebreaker,
Yeah.
you know?
But not to mention, that's not the only arm that he snapped,
Right.
and that wasn't just an arm. If you remember, it was an entire shoulder.
Well, yeah, he broke
Yeah.
it in the wrong place because he didn't have it in right, and it did
Uh-huh.
lead to one of the all-time great MMA quotes where he said, "Sometimes horsepower just beats technique."
Yeah. Listen, that was I had never seen anything like that in MMA before. He literally turned his arm into like a Ken doll and just bent it all the way back. And anybody that knows Big Nog, he's from that really old school camp that didn't tap. The old school Brazilian jiu-jitsu tapping was considered, was seen as weak. And you hear stories about a lot of those guys back in the day that would have broken bones and still finish matches, because they wouldn't tap.
Well, I could see that having been, not a jujitsu guy, but having grappled a little bit in my day. I get that with a choke. You know what I mean? If you
Hmm.
want to go out on your shield, you take a
Hmm.
nap. When it comes to your joints, arm bars, kimuras, you got to tap, man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but that wasn't the
I,
that's not the old school, thought. You especially you hear what was that? Was that Helio back in the day that fought?
mm-hmm.
Was it him versus? Was it Zulu? I forget who.
Kimura.
Somebody he fought, and it was okay. So and broke his arm, and he finished the match. And it was like it wasn't like a few minutes later. It wasn't like today's MMA where it's like you got 5-minute rounds. It's like no, this is over when the men can't move anymore. you know, so
So I believe in this story. I may have misinterpreted. I read it in the Gracie Way book. But I believe he had a feeling like he knew he couldn't beat Kimura, but he wanted to see exactly how Kimura would be able to beat him. He's like, I know he could beat me, I
mhm.
just don't know how. So I'm gonna fight him to find out. And then that's why they now call it the Kimura, because they named it after him, because
Mhm.
that's the movie beat him with.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's a part of what you do when you're striving for greatness. You don't want to go up against weak people or people you can beat. You want to go up against other people. It's a chess match, right? That's how you get better, and that's how you learn things that you can't picture in your head right away, right? Because somebody else it's like, okay, I don't know. Okay, I have this covered. I have this covered. I have that covered. I'm not sure that I can win, but how could he win? And now you have to go into that chess match. But also Tim Sylvia, the other guy, arm who Frank Mir broke. If you remember, Tim Sylvia tried to finish that fight. He didn't tap or anything once his arm was broken. He wanted to finish the fight. They're like, no, like, dude, your arm snapped in half.
Another fighter, another time where Frank Mir broke it in the wrong spot.
Hey, that's what you got to do sometimes.
So it just goes to show he knows what he's doing. But when you're a brick shit house, that helps a little bit where you can put a little ass into it. Like Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, Elio was a small
Hmm.
guy that designed it around being able to be small and have leverage. If you do that same technique plus your 6'3", 250, you just
Yeah.
snap that arm where